Oh, hi, hello! How's it going? Happy Heckin' Friday. Welcome back to this, our first indie game spotlight in a little while, where we love to play and show off cool, different indie games. Today we are playing Before the Spire Falls, which is a game that runs on the Belonging Outside of Belonging system. It is an entirely GM-less game, so we are all telling this story together. No one person is in charge. We all have to make these decisions. We're all responsible for what happens in this world. I'm gonna really quickly say a big thank you to Roll20. We are partnered with Roll20 as part of the Roll20 Spotlight program as they try and highlight and showcase lots of different folks showing off tabletop role-playing game content. And we are one of them, so we appreciate them. And if you don't already have a Roll20 link, you can click that little link below, get one for yourself, and play games safely at a distance with your friends. I'm pretty good. We also have the command today, Spire Falls, and that will take you to the actual itch.io link for this here game, so you can pick it up, check it out yourself. It was actually in the Racial and Social Justice bundle, so if you picked up that massive and amazing bundle, you already have this game. So you can pick it up and follow it along with us. It's very, very cool. So, that being said, we're gonna go around and say hi, hello to everyone. We have all new faces, first time on the channel today. I'm very, very heckin' excited to have these folks. So, we're gonna go around and say, tell us who you are. I will start. Hi, my name is Jess. This is my channel. You can find me at go_JG in all the places. My pronouns are she and they. Today I am playing the sun. Sorry, I'm just really excited about that. And the sun's pronouns are she and her, and like I might have already headcanon that the sun is of course dating a moon, and we're of course cute lesbians who smooch all the time, just saying. The moon is maybe my girlfriend in my head. So, so who's up next? Chris, hi Chris.
Hi, my name's Chris. I go with she, her pronouns, and I'm playing the star today.
Perfect. Love it. Next up is Alyssa.
Hi, name's Alyssa, pronouns she, her. I am playing the Chariots, and the Chariots' pronouns are just fight.
Oh.
It's so good. It's literally just... I'm sorry, it makes me so happy when I got to just type fight into the pronoun box.
Hello
So
there.
good.
Hello there, I'm Michael Wayne. You give me a clip, I'll give you a GIF. My pronouns are he, she, they. My character, Death, Lula, Volt, she, they.
Perfect. I love it. So, like I said, we're gonna play this game all together, and this game is really good as it's one of the ones that actually gives you full-on prompts for like, here's how you start. You're gonna actually read a bunch of stuff all together. And that's actually, if y'all have the document open, it's literally on like the third page of the PDF that says, when you gather together for first time, take turns reading the following out loud. So I think we'll start there because I think it'll give a good feel to the setting, and then we will move on and start with the actual, I'll show everyone the Roll20 that we're all sharing, and then we'll all start into play. So I'm gonna skip me because I've had to do the most talking.
Okay.
So Chris, can you read the first sentence?
The world is a fantastical place filled with beauty, wonder, and strangeness. It is a world worth saving.
The people of this world are kind and unique. They are people worth saving.
We are a group of witches who have been called upon to stop the nothing that is devouring the world. We are also worth saving.
A role-playing game is an imaginative conversation between people. We'll listen to each other, offer ideas, ask questions, and build on the answers. Sometimes the game's rules will step in to prompt our imaginations and guide what we say.
Each of us will take on the role of a witch in the group. Each of us will also play a piece of the world. We will take turns setting scenes, creating conflict, and narrating what our witch does, thinks, and says in response to the world and other witches.
Our witches have a common goal: to reclaim their world from the nothing. As players, we also have a common goal: to enjoy weaving a collaborative story together.
We will play to find out who our witches are and what their world is like, and how they will reclaim it from the nothing.
Heck yeah. All right. So, that being said, I'm gonna jump stream over so that y'all can see. Bonk. There we go. Each of our witches. So, we have already selected our witches. And we have, I mean, I only shared the basic art. I know each of you has the actual playable doc with you. But for each of the characters, who did we not choose? The Queen of Wands. I'm going to delete her. Sorry. Bye. There you go. But this is us. Does anyone want to go first and tell us about their character? Each of the characters, you're going to do your name, your pronouns, your look, what you have to fight. Oh, like, sorry. You're going to do all the questions except the bonds, basically. You're going to do your name and then everything up to the bonds. The bonds will do next after everyone has introduced their character.
Does anyone want to go first? Because if not, like, I do have a lot of this in mind.
You can go
I'll
first.
tag you.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I will be playing Lula Vault. Their pronouns is she, they. Their look is a little kind of like gnarled hues, like a lot of kind of like just items that have been thrown away that they're giving a second life to love again, essentially. They left behind this journey comfort. They left comfort behind. And because I believe Jess said this was okay, that I have essentially like a loyal mount that is on a staff that kind of like transforms to be big when I need to, but most part it's just small on a staff. It's a chicken for the loyal mount.
Love it.
How about we go backwards order this time and I'll go next?
Perfect.
Okay, so I am the Chariot. My name is Orion. My pronouns are fight. My look, I probably have burning eyes. It's a passion for like protecting but also fighting kind of thing. What do I fight for? For the people who can't fight for themselves. And I get to choose. Well, I will choose a mace with true aim. Whether it hits you in the heart or hits you in the leg, we'll see.
Love it.
Okay, I am playing the star. My name is Nebula, and my pronouns are she, her. I have soft hair. What I imagine is that the image on, I don't know if they can see the picture on screen. That beard is very evocative. I like to think of it like the feeling when you put your hand in like a soft stream that's like babbling by. That's kind of like the feeling you have when you touch the beard. So who sent me on this journey? I think a dream sent me on this journey, and I have a bottle of Starlight.
Oh my god, that's so good. All right, I'll move up to my art. So I am playing the sun. We all work together to come up with this name, just saying. My name is Gay, spelled Gae, but my name is Gay. And I'm the sun. And the moon is my girlfriend. That's just my headcanon, like I said. My pronouns are she, her. I have a generous smile, and I walk barefoot at all times. My joy comes from my inner light. There is a place in the clouds that is where is what gives me hope. You have. Ooh, I like this because I just said the moon is my girlfriend. Oil collected in the light of the sapphire moon. So that's, yeah.
That's really fitting.
Yeah. I think that works. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Perfect. So next, we've created our witches. We get to do a little, well, we kind of already introduced ourselves. So now what we want to do is our bonds. So in the game it says, choose one bond question, ask it to the player to your left. I guess we'll just, since we went around one way, we'll just go back the other way, I think, if that's cool with everyone. And we'll ask a question. So my question, so that
this
means...
is my left.
You would be asking me.
Yeah, we're gonna go in the order on screen.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask Chris. Chris is gonna ask Alyssa. Alyssa's gonna ask Michael. Michael's gonna ask me.
Okay.
Okay. So my questions are. Which do I want to add? Yeah. This is interesting because I'm the sun and you're the star.
And I am. You are also a star.
Yeah, I mean the sun is a star, so like.
Maybe because the star is so far away, it just has more of a mystical feeling to it. That's why they're so different.
I'm not as important.
I don't think that's what it is, though. I think it's like we also have different kinds of magic. Like if you look at our different like magical spells and stuff. So it's interesting. Okay. I'm gonna ask, why do you believe I am sincere?
I was kind of hoping you would do the first one because I already had like an answer for it.
Okay, well then I'll do that one. Okay, why is my presence?
I got this.
You're like up for the challenge.
I think that I see the way that you treat your girlfriend, the moon. Like me from afar.
Voyeur.
I don't. Yes, like I'm far away, and maybe in my system I don't have my own moon. I'm all by myself.
Aww.
And I can like see you guys, and I kind of watch your wholesome relationship. So I kind of that's why I believe you're sincere, because I see you interact with your significant other that way.
I love that. That's very good. It's your turn.
Now I ask a question.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I want to go with the first one. I failed to heal you once before. What happened? Have you forgiven me?
I think maybe I was defending you or something you needed defending. And you weren't able to heal me because there was just so much other stuff happening at the time. And I don't think I took it personally. Like it was upsetting at the time, but after like thinking about it, kind of working through my feelings by fighting other things, I understood that, you know, you were busy. There were other people that needed help more than I did.
I was doing my best.
Exactly. I understood.
Sometimes my best isn't enough. And that's okay.
You are forgiven. All right. So, I have hurt you in the past. Have you forgiven me?
Wow.
I feel like a way just to complicate it is they haven't forgiven you yet, but we're on the path to that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm very what is the word?
Strong-headed.
I can't think of the word. If I'll try and figure it out later. Meh, it's fine. Anyways.
What has death taught you?
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow. That's
a good
really
question.
interesting. Oh my god. Okay, what has death taught me, the sun? That change can be beautiful. That, like something coming to an end can mean something else starting. That like death and like the end or like changing of things is a natural, beautiful part of things, I think. I love that. I really like these questions. That's so
very
good.
Fun in like a very evocative kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good. Okay. So, we've created our witches, we have done our intros, we have done our bonds. We are going to do our setting elements. And this time, I'm going to remember to pull you all over to this screen. Not like last time. I think I mentioned it and I didn't show you all. So, the setting elements for this game are the nothing, the path ahead, magic, and the people. And so for each of these, anytime we do a scene, someone can pick up one of these setting elements and apply it to the scenario. And there's some suggestions, there's moves, like with the nothing, it's consume something in whole or in part, spread panic through a community. For the path ahead, it's like show signs of approaching danger or abruptly change the environment. So it's all these sorts of things. And there's also an invoke when, like, invoke when the group is moving forward and they're unsure of the path ahead. And you're like, okay, this is what happens in front of us right now. You can just take that. Say I'm taking that setting element. However, for each of them, the path ahead doesn't have any. All the other ones, no, they don't. That's weird. I guess it's just the nothing. So for the nothing, we have to choose, we each choose one. And it says just choose one. We each choose one, but I think what we'll do is 2 people will choose from the top and 2 people will choose from the bottom, and we'll work together in that way to pick. So you can actually either circle or underline a one you like if you have one in mind, and you can sort of describe what you kind of imagine it to do or what you imagine it to be. And this doesn't have to be like a hard and fast for sure thing. You can make suggestions and we can discuss it. Does someone want to actually... Do we want to do, again, since once again, I'm talking so much, there's actually 3 sentences, 3 perfect little paragraphy sentences there. Do y'all want to each read for the nothing, starting with not long ago? And we'll start. Chris, do you want to read that first little bit of the nothing?
What page is that on?
You brought us into it, or in the...
Oh, Roll 20. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, you should be...
Oh, I see.
In the Roll20.
Not long ago, a sickness started to spread into our world. It was slow at first. There were whispers of trouble in the outer regions of a callous force devouring the world.
As it crept slowly toward the prismatic spire, the force became known not for the fear it caused upon its arrival, but the nothing it left in its wake.
When it reaches the spiral, it will be too late. There will be nothing left to save.
So that's kind of the main conflict in this game, is this nothing is is approaching, and we actually are starting the game at the Prismic Spire. That's where we are all together. That's where we're starting this story. So from the list of what it devours and how it manifests, is there anything that anyone particularly sees that they like?
I have one in mind just because I think it might be funny of just color, as in like them having kind of like this very vibrant, like lots of mismatched colored or like clothing on them, and then just kind of like of it all just becoming uniform gray.
Mm. I do like that visual. I do really like the visual of um could it be, could we say something like that's an early sign of the nothing? Like before the nothing arrives and does like takes anything else, it first steals all the color.
So there was a Flash game back when Flash games were a thing. Um, that listen, you might actually know it. It was a game where it was about a main character, and he was in a black and white world. He was looking for love, and that when he found love, color came into the world. So in some way, maybe we can also do something like that, where it's devouring the color, but that's the like physical symptom of it. The psychological or the mental symptom, we start to lose our ability to like connect with one another. When so that the whole mismatched clothing and stuff, that can be like a first physical sign that the nothing is starting to approach and starting to steal our ability to support each other, to give each other hope, and to like empower each other.
Yeah. I really like the idea that like you visually see like the loss of color, but there's also, like you said, like almost like like a monotonous,
Maybe,
like a blandness that starts to
Yeah.
seep in, like
Mhm.
yeah,
And
because almost as though like the bonds you have seem to just be obtuse or just not really mattering all that much is like a second kind of like much more obvious sign.
yeah.
Because
maybe the gray mist is what's kind of leaching that color in the beginning, and that's kind of like that same kind of precursor. That's what's leaching the color, which leads to that that second thing that it devours. Which is it, bonds or hope? Because you did say both in your sentences.
Well, color's the main thing. Everything else is also self symptoms or symptoms of losing color.
Mm-hmm. So it manifests like primarily as a gray fog. It starts by stealing color, and then it continues to devour hope, life, bonds. Which, yeah, I did you settle on
Choose
just one?
one.
Yeah, you have to pick one.
Everything.
Everything. I mean, everything's in there too. Is it everything?
That's true.
yeah, because like
The thing
that
is
feels like everything is the last stage, but all this
Yeah.
yeah,
feels like different steps that
yeah.
what they are describing is
Mm-hmm.
maybe it might start off with like your dreams, then your hopes, then your bonds, nature, then the body, then
Mm-hmm.
your life, and then everything is consumed.
Okay. So it comes in as gray mist. So we said
So
gray mist,
do you
right?
guys
Ah!
think?
So
Oh,
hard to
sorry. Do
do
you
is.
guys think
No, it's. Go ahead.
the mist would be like one of those like low rolling mists like to the ground that are like thick fog, or is it going to be like a kind of like a misty day right before it rains or something like that, or is it going to be like this like really thick dense fog like peeks in by your feet?
Um, I
Like,
think
do you have
kind
a
of like
visualization?
because I think how just to that it could be just a simple case of that yeah, it is this gray mist, but it's always swirling. Like maybe so it's like almost like a little trail of this gray mist. So that way it can start out low in the scene or be high, but it always comes out of like out of the corner of your eye first. It's this like rolling mist that you don't notice until it's like right almost about on you.
So it's a slow moving mist.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, because you could always run to get away from it, but you have to notice it beforehand.
Hmm. That's a lot of good stuff already. I'm wondering if there is. So, does the gray mist come in and take the color? Is it the early form, and then there's like something else?
Yeah.
Is the final form? I kind of like the
like.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, I kind of like the idea that it doesn't take everything at once. So like you could encounter the nothing and leave with something's left. Like maybe it doesn't take all your color. Maybe it takes the color blue, and maybe like you weren't in there long enough. But the longer you stay in the nothing, the more it takes from you. It starts with color, and then it starts when it runs out of color to take from you. It starts taking the other things as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I kind of like the idea of storm clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I like that is because there's something that you can see like way off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And anything where the storm clouds have already touched down or landed, we've like never heard from those locations again.
Do you mean
know what I
like
mean?
it rains and like, or is it just like the shadows? You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like, is it the shadows that going over that area, or is it like it's going over and then you can see the storm clouds above you, but it hasn't rained yet? So you have like this kind of like overhanging like tension.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's literal rain. I think it is like an impending cloud and like dark shadows and stuff like that. And I think for us at the Spire, I mean, like maybe folks have already traveled around. This is something that people can decide for their characters and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, like a lot of folks have still only seen the clouds in the distance.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of like a mostly still impending doom.
yeah, like when you can tell from a large, like I'm not sure if this is able when at the ground, but I always remember like when I lived in any hilly area that there was this like great divide you could see from a distance where like as the clouds were rolling in, you can see this divide of where there's light and when there's shadow. And it's be like where it's shadow is where the clouds are.
Yeah. I like that. Is everyone cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So wamp. Wamp. We went with color, everything, storm clouds, gray mist. I think that's good for now, because I don't think the other ones have things. All the moves are valid options. All like the invoke when is valid at any point in time. Those are the only ones that had us choose. I have to say I was actually a little surprised because I think other versions of this I've played had to choose on all of them. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I thought there was going to be more here. I will move us all back to the other page. So we have created our witches, done our intros and bonds, built our setting elements. Now we have to start our map. So one of the reasons I have this in Roll20 is because I built this with this big old blank space in the middle so that we could all draw however we want. We're going to go on a journey, so we have to start by drawing somewhere on the map where we are. We're at the Prismic Spire. As we play, we'll encounter new areas and we can add them to the map. So we need to lay down our spire where we are, and then we need to frame our first scene and decide how we're starting our journey out from the spire. We have to decide if we've all been tasked with stopping the nothing. We need to decide if this is a big ceremony, like a big to-do, a big send-off, or is this kind of secretive? Is there a secretive council, or somewhere in between? While that is happening, I'm also gonna unlock these tokens because I realize they're probably still locked to you.
Something I think might be available because, like, they say it's a spiral. So if we're starting from the spiral, maybe kind of like we all have met in this kind of like middle area where all of us have just been going through the people. Maybe at the lower levels, that's where most people are, and no one ever really ventures that far up in that high into the spiral. We're
Ooh.
kind of like each area, like there might only be like midway, there might be like some guards or whatever that allows for or just like only city officials and all that. And then, so like essentially, we all have to go through the people, but we're at to a point where like we can all be above them to communicate without those below having to hear or worry. Because not many people want to take the trek up the spiral.
So you think that we are starting near the top?
I would think kind of like just more in the middle, because like maybe the top is the official stuff that are higher up from us, and we are essentially kind of like the middlemen in between them, like between the high people and like the high officials and all that and the people.
So like they're sending us on a mission to see if we can stop the nothing then?
Yeah, because
from the middle.
Yeah, because maybe like that's what our witches do in this community is they are the ones that are in part of the community, so that they can go up and talk to the officials on the problems or anything, almost like a representative. But because most people don't recognize them, that allows them to be in the community without someone like being able to know they're in there. Kind of like they're part of the community to always be able there to help, but no one kind of like shuns them or makes them bad, because all they know is these are just some helpful people the community knows.
So what if we had like almost like a, it's not like we shape-shifted, but there's something magical about us that makes us look like the normal people, even though we are these like very like different. And so that's why they're more willing to trust us when we do things, is because even though we are these like greater beings who are there to do these things to keep the balance, like we look like normal, like we look like everyone else, kind of thing.
Is it just like a glamour that like tones down kind of like some of what we are a little bit, like has to like, especially in a world where the color is being eaten and like pulled away and stuff like that, are we like luminescently colorful because we're kind of like,
oh, that would be cool. So like
extra special.
So like whenever we go to, if we ever do go into an area that has been touched by nothing and we show up when we're luminous,
like when we're wearing specific colors, like they're just brighter on us, like kind of like how our cards are set. Like I would have brighter reds and Chris would have brighter blues, kind of thing. Like it just, and when we're wearing those colors, they're just, we stand out, but we're still kind of like recognizable as like special, but still human in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, like, because for if the world is like having color, maybe it's like just like this is on the higher end of the eye spectrum, because a lot of times we only can see X amount of colors, but those that are witches or the officials, those all can see on higher range, so that they only to them they see very vibrant colors to those that need to know, but to everyone else those colors don't register.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do y'all know about mantis shrimp?
Oh my god, so many
yeah, that's kind of where I was getting the idea from.
I'm so glad I said that and everyone knew what I was talking about. I was like, please don't let anyone here not know what I'm talking about.
So we're all mantis shrimp.
Well, I just mean, okay, so if anyone is watching or listening and you don't know about mantis shrimp, let me tell you about mantis shrimp. So they have like however many, I don't know the exact number. I just know
It's like
that we
60
have
million.
yeah, we have
Like
we
that.
have so many cones in our eyes that allow us to see a wide range of color, like a pretty decent range of color. Mantis shrimp have like a billion times more. They can see color like well beyond we can see color. And they're already fantastically colored to our eyeballs. So it is believed, however, that like mantis shrimp to each other are even more elaborately colorful because they have these extremely amazing, elaborate eyes that can see this. So we're like that. Like, is that what it is? Like to people that can comprehend it, they only see as much as they can see, but we can see and are past that in color.
Yeah, and that makes sense for like who's the mayor and all that, and all the government are the ones that can see more because that's why they've gotten to the point where they can help the people is they can see more.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because like it could be that the people, the non-witches, the people, they might have some of these qualities, like they might have special colors, but they don't know. And it can be kind of our role to say, hey, you have this special quality about you. I know you can't see it, but we see it, and we understand that, and we can help you figure what that out, whatever that is. I don't know, whatever it comes up to be in the game. Like whenever we encounter people like that and we find someone who is extra special, they might not recognize that, but we do.
I love that.
And we're witches.
You get your like Spire Hogwarts letter.
I would think it'd be more of like it's a business card, like that way. Like it's more of just like a standardized card. You get it in the regular mail, but no one but you are able actually to read it.
Oh yeah, it'd be like invisible inkish type thing. Like it's suited to what you can see. Like
yeah, and it could just be like the general, "Hey, happy holidays," or "Hey, happy solstice," or whatever. But only those that can see would know there's something more.
Oh my god, what if they put it in like newspapers just to see if they could get it to everyone? And like if you can see this, call this number or like go here or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's so interesting. Okay, we've already made it an elaborate world that I really like. I love this. Okay. So we have to send out, we have to blah, blah, blah. We have to head out. I kept messing up my words. We have to head out, to fight the nothing. Is this a public event? Is this like, do people know we're going off to fight it? Is it secret? Is it private? Is it a mix? Like, are we doing this of our own accord? Have we been told to do it? Like,
I think it's a mixture of we've been told to handle it, and like it's just something like the populace just have heard whispers of like, have you heard of it? But it's the officials that understand that there's more to it, and they've given out kind of like maybe the secret smoke that's in the sky, like maybe like a firework that's only the colors that these witches can see. You need to bring them all together to tell. We must all go out to stop the nothing via this firework.
mm-hmm. So we're not so then what, based on what you're saying, we're not even the only witches going out. There are other witches in other places also like heading out on a journey. So like in theory on our journey, we might encounter other witches who are also on the same or a similar mission to us.
Yeah. I think that's pretty I think that's pretty interesting because then we can have parallels, like maybe we've heard stories of what other witches do to try to combat the nothing. As well, and we can introduce that into the game. Like I heard the Queen of Wands did this.
Yeah. Especially since I had to delete her.
Oh, I like that. It's just like there's rumors of other people that we don't know. So that way if Jess feels like there's more that they want to reference, they can just say, "Oh, I heard rumors of."
Mm-hmm. I heard the lovers did that.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Lovers is an actual witch, not
Yeah.
for clarification.
To be fair, like I think a lot of these have like a tarot-esque theme, so I
Yeah,
feel like we
yeah.
could even do like the Tower, the Jester, the Fool type thing. You know what I mean? Like
oh yeah, we
any
could.
Yeah.
I think any of those
That'd be
things
really
are like
cool.
are good narrative fodder for us.
Oh, and that's like how we all
Narrative
meet
bullets.
together. We all meet together talking to the Fool, the start of the journey.
That is the start of the journey in theory, yeah, on the cards. That's interesting. Okay then. So, we've decided kind of what is happening. Each of us needs to choose a prompt to interact with before leaving the Spire. You may include other witches in your prompt. So this is something where, like, literally you pick a prompt and you can just tell us what happens. You can act out what happens. You can ask someone to come into the prompt with you and, like, do a thing. Like, I think we would do this. Like, would you do this with me? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, for example, there's the last meal. We could all sit down to a meal together. Any of those sorts of things are options.
I got one that may be a dumb idea. That death is, they are just out there selling like all these wares and such to the Fool while involving like the people, like all just kind of like people just going, hello, Ab, and here is this magical box. You have this wine up here. And as you hear the musical chant going, dun 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 dun, dun, you can summon the Jack.
Is that what you're doing with your last night in the Spire?
selling a pop goes to weasel.
Selling your refurbished like random stuff.
Yes.
To the Fool?
Because they are leaving the comfort.
I mean, we need supplies. I mean,
yeah.
We need things
we need
to
funds.
travel with. We need funds.
Yeah.
Behind every good journey is the funds to power that journey.
Like, I was just using Jack in the Box as an example, but just lots of these, like, knickknacks. Now,
I think it's cool.
Here is this ritual of good luck. Here you have these metal spigots. Now, as you drop the ball and bounce it, how many you can grab before it stops bouncing is how many good fortunes you will have in the day.
You gotta get really good at jacks.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. Like, can I come into the scene? May I join you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just like doing the setup for anyone.
I think Gay heard the music first and kind of like did like a peek around like a pillar and was like watching, and then when you do like the jacks with the ball and stuff like that, I think she comes running over all excited like, so if I get really, really good at this, I can always have just a good day, like a very, very good day.
Well, again, it doesn't say it's good fortune or bad fortune.
Oh.
Just the number of fortunes you'll have in a day.
I think that's good. I think that means good. I'm pretty sure. Can I try?
Certainly.
It sounds dangerous.
Gay is gonna try and play your game.
Go for it.
God. Oh no.
Is there anything else you saw from this scene happening?
Like, I kind of want to go over there and be like, Gay, this is not a good idea. Like, I understand the potential here, but with good days come bad days. Like, they can't all be good.
But it's fortunes, so it's fortunes, and then I don't know if you've noticed, but I think I'm a pretty lucky person. So I think as long as I get the fortunes, then I can make them pretty lucky, and then I'll just have lots of lucky fortunes.
But the thing is, Gay, like the world always balances out, right? So if you're getting all these good fortunes, who are you giving the bad fortunes to?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't give anyone a bad fortune.
It's not about choosing to give them the bad fortune.
Sometimes it just happens like that.
Well, the thing is here, I'll give you one of these words like I've gotten from this magical book that introduces you to new words every day. It is purely magical. What you have there is a opportunity. Which, yes, sounds like you got a problem, but you have an opportunity for something good.
Or
something bad.
Hey, it's a opportunity. It's an opportunity to make it into something better.
I mean, I won't stop you, Gay, but I will let that stay on your conscience that someone may get the bad fortunes that you are changing.
Why would you say that though? But I think I really think
there's something for everyone here. And I have for you one of the things with more magical things. And pulls out this little box. Now, they have these magical things you put in there called an 8-track. You push it into this box here, and it plays a little tune.
I think honestly, Orion freaking loves this thing. Like there's there's probably like the one you played, but there's probably something that just seems very like I could play this while I'm either training or fighting or something. It's basically just Eye of the Tiger.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like that's what
that song.
Yeah, like they pull it out and it goes da, 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 and it just sounds kind of like a MIDI file of the actual thing. It does not sound like any copyrighted music. It actually sounds like something that's been pre-recorded, then put onto it, almost like how you would in the old days. Record a thing, and it sounds not like the actual thing, but it's close enough that you like it without it being copyright infringed.
So basically, it's gonna be like that scene in games where the music suddenly changes and you start playing this 8-track.
God, okay, so I guess my question is it like a Walkman type thing, or is it like a little like
it's more like a boombox,
like you put on
pick it up because it's a box.
Like yes,
I feel like this is perfect for Orion.
It is.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna find a way to like strap it to my back so I can use like both my hands to fight or something and like still be blasting.
Now, so you want to try? I got the perfect equipment for it. And then goes behind like their little cardboard like wooden desks that they put all this in, and pulls out suspenders that are rainbow colored. Now here's what you do: you wrap them around that and around your own clothing. Boom! You can carry it in there. Get in there for just $5.99.
Oh my god, Orion loves this.
Are you broke? What'd you do with the money you got from your last job?
Well, again, if you don't have $5.99, and we can go with payments, and I am always open for new and interesting trades.
I mean, you're gonna be coming with me, so I feel like I could pay you on the way. Is what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that thing. That explains why you look so beautiful with the stylish colors and everything. Here, I just thought that you were just a fabulous person.
I mean, you are a fabulous person.
Amazing.
Nebula? Are you just like in the background again, watching everyone?
Yeah. I am actually curious. I'm gonna ask Gay this question. About your first scene or your prompt. You are not going to go talk to your significant other before you leave.
That's what I was gonna do. I was waiting for this. Like, that's why I was asking, like,
okay.
How folks were engaging with this scene, because for anyone that can't see the document, there's a prompt that says "a kiss before I go," and I fully was going, "Hi everyone, my name is Gay, and I'm the sun. My girlfriend is the moon."
Oh, okay. Don't worry. She's just about down. You see a cup behind the one with the fluffy hair that seems to be almost like cotton candy. Should be down that way.
I love that.
And if we're going to be going, I should pack this up.
Well, you know what? Why don't you all finish up what you're doing here? I'm just gonna go away for like a second, and then I'll just be back in like a minute, and then Gay goes off, runs off to kiss her girlfriend goodbye.
Don't forget to pack your bag.
Oh yeah, bags, right.
Forgets.
I feel like Gay's girlfriend, the Moon, is actually much more responsible than her, and probably has like her stuff packed for her, like.
Yeah, she's the one that handles the finances.
She's like, there, sweetie.
Like he helps you put your bag on, gives you a kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's actually very sweet.
And they have
your girlfriend. Oh, sorry.
And they have a little bento box that looks like a sun with a rice.
That's cute.
It's like a little thing of the thing. Think I packed you a lunch. No. And like, okay, don't worry. It's I've met the people I'm going on the journey with, and they all seem really, really great, full of good advice. It's gonna go really good. I love you. Bye. Like, come running back. now loaded with stuff.
You're not gonna get tired carrying all of that, right?
Well, a lot of it's food, so we're all gonna eat it, and then it'll get lighter and lighter as we go.
That's fair.
What about you, Ryan? What are you gonna do before you leave the Spire?
What if Orion is actually really close with like the I think it was the Queen of Wands, and like I just before I leave, I'm just like I'm gonna be going on this journey kind of thing, see what we can do about the nothing, and I promise her that I will return, but I don't know when that will be, kind of thing. And maybe she tries to give me some advice or something, and I'm like, I think I got this. I like flex just a little bit. I got this.
I'm good flexing.
So the queen, you think the queen is like an older witch, and maybe if nothing has been around for a long time, maybe this has been like it's not a new thing. Like it's periodical that we had to send witches out, and the queen was on like a previous journey. Do you think, or is there something different about that?
Like maybe they've pushed it back before, and then but it always comes back, but they like push it back, and then like it stops for a little bit, and then it's almost like
a tug of war,
like a balance.
So you think this is like been a long-term thing? Is this the first time it's threatening to come all the way to the Spire though, or is it that they
I think it surged this time, maybe, and that's why it's getting a lot closer than like the upper echelons are like comfortable with. So they're sending more of us out than like one or two usually.
So then the queen, like the people who fought it off before, are staying behind at the Spire to be kind of like the last defense. And all of those young ones are going to go out there, younger ones.
Perfect. And what about Nebula? Yeah.
I was too busy thinking about other people's. I think that I'm going to have a fear about the journey. Nebula not right now, doesn't really seem to have a lot of close people, close witches. Their fear will probably be something like they won't be able to form any close bonds with anyone before if they get lost into the nothing. That's like their fear, their worst nightmare. Especially if they're watching the sun and the moon have this really awesome, happy, we're gonna give you bentos in the morning kind of relationship. Obviously, everyone else, like Orion and the Queen. I'm just here in my apartment by myself.
No.
That's okay. we'll go on a journey together.
And I mean, it's not like we hate you. We're like, I think we're at acquaintance level.
Yeah, everyone's an acquaintance. That's my problem.
Oh, sorry.
I need to find my own moon, my own solar system.
Because we're both like we could be distant cousins. Like,
Yeah, we're distant cousins. I need to become a son. I aspire to be a son.
oh my gosh, I love it. All right. Are we happy with those prompts?
Yeah, I just want to add like one little bit of closing for Lilavolt is like they tap on their thing and go, all sales are finals, no refunds. We put the fun and no refunds. And like as they're tapping with the staff, this like giant little chicken and big enough as a horse comes by, and it does the very much like Owl House where like it's just like opens its big mouth, so like all the things can just get folded and put into there before it just gets very tiny, and then just gets on top of Volt's staff, and then just kind of like they twirl it as they walk away.
So I've never seen Owl House. I'm imagining like a pelican. Is it like does it got like
Yes.
a big openy like?
Yeah,
I've
more
also not seen
than
Owl House.
possible. It is more than possible. It's like imagine like TARDIS, kind of like it's bigger on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the thing is, it's like essentially like an animated object. It's fluffy and chicken like a lot big enough as a horse, but it shrinks down and then goes onto the staff. So it can be ridden on, you can have stuff in there, you just open up the mouth, pull out a thing, and very much of like yes, very much like a pelican pull in the thing, but it's just like the mouth goes bigger than it's probably actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's all then just gets tiny and gets onto its staff.
Awesome. So there's one more thing before we head out. And that is, as is tradition, you have each brought a token from your community to leave at the Spire. Present your gifts to the Lavender Flame before setting out to save your world. What does everyone have? Like, I guess this is just a tradition. Maybe we each have, like, a token. Like, we each have, like, a something or other, like, a little,
So this is like a personal thing, like something that we're bringing? Okay.
This is something... Yeah, it can be any... Yeah, because this is just, like, narratively, what do you present to, like, I and we could even say, like... So these are... It says Lavender Flames, so that kind of plays into our whole story we've been building so far, where, like, we see color. So these are, like, magical flames of a certain color that, like, are special and, like, only... To anyone else, maybe it appears as like a normal fire, and they're like, "That's dangerous. Don't do that." But we know this is a special fire, and whatever we put into here can only be pulled back out by us. Like it has to, you know what I mean? Like it'll be in there, it'll be safe, but it has to be us that takes it back from this journey. Yeah.
I kind of imagine if, like in Back to the Future, how they all have like these individual logs that would put into, and it would change color when you put into the flame. Like we all have kind of like something that might be our own individual like color.
Yeah, maybe it'll like change color for each of us. Yeah. I like that.
Talk. I've never seen Back to the Future.
It's okay. It's in the third one, and most people don't watch it because it's mostly a Western, so it's understandable.
So I have an idea for my token. Yeah. If someone else wants to go first.
No, you go ahead.
So I would like to bring my very own my pillow. And I'll tell you why. I'm sure you can already know if you have picked up on my narrative style right now. It's gonna be like a really pretty like it looks like the Milky Way stars.
Oh my God, what if it's one of those pillows that's like the U-shaped ones that hugs you?
No, I'm gonna bring it's gonna be like a small one, like a just like a little headrest one. I'm gonna put into the fire, and it's going to symbolize me leaving my comfort behind to go on the journey. So that when I come back, like you said, we can take it back out. For when I come back after I've successfully pushed off the nothing, I can finally be like at peace again. So I'll take it out then. For now, I'm gonna give up like living in the Spire, being comfortable with the people in the city, and go out on this hard and arduous journey to kind of like help and heal everyone. So I'm gonna bring my pillow and put it in there.
That's amazing. I love it.
I think maybe Orion has specifically for when I'm at home, I have like practice like fist wraps for when I'm just like practicing and stuff. And I always like that's especially when I put it in there, it turns that fire that bright red that kind of represents my color. And they're always whenever I come back, they're warm and ready to go for me to start practicing again, kind of thing.
That's so good. I love it. I think Gay like looks around to make sure that like her girlfriend's not watching, and she actually pulls out like a ring, and she's like, "This is for when I get back," and she like puts it in the fire, like.
You know, are we the only ones that can pull it out? Because if we don't come back,
Yeah. If we don't come back, it stays in there. She'll never know.
No, what if it's like one of those things where it's released if we passed away?
Oh yeah.
Like a will. So
oh
that if
no,
you do
that's
pass
so
away,
much better. Yeah. Oh no.
like if something happens to you, like she'll know that you're not coming back. And
yeah.
Get this ring, like.
Yeah,
and then she'll be very sad. And
she'll be so sad.
Kind of
oh, now I'm preemptively making my girlfriend sad. no, okay, now I really can't. I can't die on this journey.
You can't die.
yeah. So yeah, Gay has a beautiful ring that she has like been holding on to present to her girlfriend, the Moon, when she returns triumphantly. Which she's very certain she will.
Lula Vault has a little kazoo that plays their jingle that they put into the flame. So even if like they're not able to continue on the business, someone else can.
Oh, that's really heckin' cute.
Yeah, it's got like imagine like the I think Jurassic Park like kazoo sound of just like that's final notes are playing as it turns into like this like very purple flame.
Okay, so I think that is it for all our prep. That is all our world building, all our witch building, all of our bond building, and all that good stuff. I think we are ready to go out on our adventure. But before we do that, before we venture out into the world, we are going to take a break. So, so y'all, please feel free to get up, do a stretch, don't forget to hydrate, all that good stuff, and we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. See y'all soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hello, welcome back, and hello, Raven. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome on in. If y'all are coming in over from Raven's channel, welcome. Hi, hello. You caught us just after break. Perfect timing. We are playing a game called Before the Spire Falls. We are all wonderfully colorful witches, and we are being sent out into the world to find the nothing. Oh, to fight. Not to find. Don't want to fight. We want to find it and then fight it, I guess. So yeah, so anytime you want to check out this game, it is called Spire Falls. ! Spire Falls will take you that link in the chat. So welcome on in. We just wrapped up all our opening stuff, all our cool world building and that sort of stuff. We said who we are, how we know each other. We kind of said goodbye. We left some items behind. So we're now basically at the point where we need to start thinking about. We still have to draw. Does anyone have drawing skills? Because we have to draw the Spire.
Well, so I mean, I was just thinking, what if we made like a couple circles in a stack, and that can be our like Spire. I don't know.
I like that. I like that.
Just because this is Roll20 and shapes are trash.
Yeah, it's hard to do stuff on.
You have the pen. You want to use that?
I don't want to move Roll20 over to this screen and then back to that screen. It's just an effort.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
No worries. I like that. I like the idea of. So do we want to? So what I was gonna say is because like we kind of have this layout where I laid out stuff on the left going down and then on the top to the right. So we have that kind of center space. Do we want to sort of put it like maybe up near the top to start with, and then say we're kind of traveling down through this space as we go?
Okay. I mean, that works with me.
Does that sound good to folks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also okay with just theater of the mind too.
Yeah.
That's a rectangle.
Sorry, I forgot you have to hold shift while you do it.
Yeah.
Nope, that's why. That's not a
What is it?
circle.
300?
Excuse me, Roll20.
Hold Alt for circle and ellipses. I should know this by now.
I held shift. Gosh, darn it. I don't draw shapes often. My bad.
Draw shape. There you go.
I thought you were gonna freehand the shape, so.
Look at all these.
I give up. I don't know.
You're getting to see. No, okay. This is good because I think here's what we should do. We should move this one over here, and then we'll start them like over here. We'll say that's kind of like the spire where we started up there. Because now we're gonna move down through, and we want to start thinking about. I love it. I love it. We want to start thinking about what kind of scenes we want to have. So in the instruction of the game, it says continue playing through different scenes. What conversations do you want to explore? Like, what sort of things do we want? I think we've made a pretty interesting world. Like, honestly, like so far, all the stuff we've discussed has been really good. Where do we want to go? What do we imagine sort of happening? If you're stuck, and then all the way at the bottom, at the very last page, is the one that prompts you to do the map. So it even says, you begin your journey at the Prismatic Spire, draw it on the map. Add locations to the map as you encounter them in play. Pull ideas from this list over here. So there's some suggestions on the side.
Are we supposed to choose a setting element first?
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, I think what might be interesting is like we either do like the path ahead where we might describe some of the elements of the world, just like how like they might be physically the world is, or the magic as kind of like we're just going along talking like general chit chat.
Yeah,
might introduce the magic.
Yeah, I will say, like, this is not the be-all, end-all of info. Don't take my word for it. I've only played a few Belonging Outside of Belonging games, but the way I've always played them in the past is that you set up the scenes, you start to play into the scenes, and then if it makes sense for someone to grab an element, then you grab it and say, you say like, oh, okay, you know what? This seems a perfect time to invoke the path. So I'm gonna take control of the path and, you know what I mean? Go with the prompts on the path and say like, and kind of mess up the road in front. The road in front of you disappears or like whatever it is. That's. But if someone has an idea for a scene starting with this with an element, I'd say that's fine too. If someone thinks that's interesting.
What do we think the terrain is like immediately outside of the Spire? Is it like one of those post-apocalyptic like worlds where it's nothing, you know what I mean, outside of the Spire? Like the place that we live is like the most advanced place. Maybe there's a couple pockets here and there, but everything else is just like barren. Or is it like this like very like thriving land, jungle, or somewhere in between, desert, mountains? Like, what do we think?
I think it might be very much of an elemental kind of like world of like, and that kind of like, and this may have just been because of the Borderlands during the break screen. It's just like you have like these like environments that we are going like these elements of winter. Like we probably are starting the spiral is around like these elements of spring, of growth, which has brought in everyone to the spiral. And as we're going out, we might go into a desert that connects from there. Like that might be the natural border that keeps a lot of people in that we might be working along. And it might be like we go for either the silly and like there's lots of little like sand turtles. There might be a giant worm, like very silly side, or we can have it kind of like be more on that there's a lot of vibrant desert life of like cactuses, flowers, like whichever direction, if you want to go more silly or more serious. But I think like some
So I like
element.
this idea. I think that it actually might be kind of cool if we raised our scenes around season. So like we would have like an act 1, 2, 3, 4. We would play through like this is spring, the land that we're going through right now. We play through that. Then when we shift over to the next, like transition into the next one, it could be summer.
And well, like, and
It's like-
what if winter is the closest to the nothing because that's the one that has like
everything
most of the
is
color.
almost everything is almost dead and it's snowing. It's all white. It's like
Yeah, it's colorless.
Ice, and it's almost like so we're losing like right before we get into winter. We have this vibrant like last gasp of life, I guess, that for fall, but we only were limited in colors, right?
Yeah,
So
and
it's like that kind of like grabbing at what's left.
that's very much like the unfolding of a journey too. Like we're leaving at spring, we're leaving at the start of like the season of like new life and growth and adventure and stuff like that. That's actually really funny. I was gonna say I like that, and I like Michael was saying about like the elemental and stuff like that, because once again I think we've all discussed and noticed that like the card, like our characters are kind of named after like tarot cards, right? So I get that. It makes me think of that very elemental sort of set and surrounding and stuff like that. Like we're people, but we're also things. Like I don't know, we're also settings and elements, and so is the world kind of like that too, where like the world is also
because like maybe that's those that are very vibrant are just those that, because you might have like something represent the swords, and that's some birds that just are in the summer area, for example. Also, I just like the idea of just a bird of swords flapping around. Like just cutting trees and fruit down for other animals.
Amazing. So do we want to say it's like a few days later we've started, it's spring, it's like nice and light and bright, and we've left the city? Did it take us like a whole day to get through like there's the Spire, and then maybe there's like probably an urban metropolis perhaps like not far, since it's kind of like an important place? Do we imagine that like we had to leave like a city or a metropolitan area, and now we're kind of like out in the world proper, like
So I guess my question is, do we have cars, or are we just walking through the city?
I kind of like the idea that we are vibrant and thus we move probably really fast. So if like we can end up going like maybe like we are the wind moving about, and like that way kind of like if someone just notices up, they just see some color in the wind.
Like, I guess the glamour kind of takes whatever form we need to use whatever we're doing.
Ooh.
Like, so when we're doing something that isn't human movement wise, it kind of shifts so that we're not as noticeable when we're going through that shift of movement kind of thing. And it leaves behind like that, maybe like kind of a rainbow in the sky, or like maybe like some birds, or like a bunch of balloons. I don't know.
And suddenly a bunch of balloons.
Yeah, and I love the phrase shift, because that is actually one of Death's powers. Like their spells is shift.
So do we all maybe like move in different ways? Like we all like we all have, we're all special, we're all magical, we're all witches, we're all these illuminated special creatures. So how we move and like how it looks visibly is kind of a little bit different for each of us. That being said, I kind of want to do a thing. I want to do the very first move of the game because I have a vulnerable move that's lose track of someone important. I want to get lost and separated. So we're doing this like we are on a mission. We are moving like fast in the direction of like where we've been told, you know, the nothing has recently struck and like, you know, is a place that's good to go and like fight it or whatnot. And I'm gonna say the sun gets distracted. Like the sun is like, I'm getting kind of hungry. Maybe if I just stop and like, maybe if I just have a quick snack, maybe no one will notice. And just like the sun gets like distracted and she just like literally turns around to reach into her backpack full of food and then like turns back and y'all are already like, she's like, oh, and everyone's gone.
Everyone's like going quickly towards things, and you're just like, food time.
I thought I could manage
your
both.
Backpack. Take out your bento. I'm gonna eat this before it gets gross.
You should have done the thing where like backpack went to like you had sumo belly, so you could like walk and do it at the same time.
Yeah, like I literally thought that I could manage. I was like, oh, this isn't a problem. I could totally like, and like it literally was over a period. So I'm gonna take a token. So if everyone can see that, like you can just copy paste. You should be able to copy paste tokens now. So I literally imagine it as like Gay, literally like we're all moving as quick as we're moving, like however we move, we're all going along, and like Gay doesn't like say anything. Gay doesn't stop anything to like say anything to y'all. She literally just does like a look back and then look forward and look back and look forward and then like looks back too long and like goes to reach and like actually stops. and in doing that, she gets kind of like waylaid for half a second, and then by the time she gets out of the bag and like turns back around and like looks, y'all have already like moved on. So I'm gonna say maybe this can't be like a completely clear area. There has to be like visual stuff in the way.
High traffic. Maybe what if there was like a parade for something and we were leaving because it was like good cover for however we had to move, and like that parade just kind of swallowed us and you in a way.
So I thought we were saying that we were a little bit out, so maybe it's like a caravan of people.
Oh.
Like maybe, you know what I mean? Like I thought we were kind of like out a little bit already. So maybe like, yeah, maybe she's doing that thing, you know, when you're like you're on autopilot and you're moving along with your friends, and then she got swept up into like a different group of people type thing.
It could be that the caravan is going to the Spire where we were coming from. Away from the nothing.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, first stop.
Wait, I'm back where I started.
Yeah. So I think when she like puts the stuff down, she looks around and she's just like, wait, you're not who I'm here with. Wait, hang on. Like, and tries to like pop her head out and like look around. She's like, friends, where did you go? Hey. Oh.
So, I would also, I guess, when we notice us three notice that Gay's missing, I'd like to take a vulnerable move and lash out in pain.
In pain.
Really, really.
Yeah, I actually think like it might even make sense that you lash out at death.
I will say like, why aren't you guys paying attention? We have to. We just literally started out on this journey, and the moon is trusting us to get her home safely.
Oh my god. What if like...
What are you guys not doing your jobs and paying attention?
You lashing out causes me to want to pick an unnecessary fight. Oh my god.
No.
Like, you're just like, everything's devolving right now.
Such a bad series.
The thing is like, I like this
You said
because then kind of like if at least some point of like how you lash out, Death kind of like would just like, you know what? Fine, fine. I will go and look since I'm apparently the problem here, and just go and do that. Will that make everyone happy?
I I don't I don't know if this like I think Orion's like, I don't know if this will make me happy, but maybe you can find gay. Like, so kind of grumpy.
Okay. Then I will try. And I find it kind of like what might be interesting is in the path of trying to find Gale and going backwards, they might cross paths with someone who knew me before the transformation. Like that's exactly where like I might find Gale is there, and it's like, oh crap, you know who I am. Like to kind of like, oh, I thought I was making things better. I'm screwed up.
Okay. So, I'm looking at the people card. Since you want to meet someone on the path, like so. So Nebula gets upset, and then Orion wants to fight, and Death is like, okay, let me go do this thing, and like Gay's just somewhere sitting on a rock, like eating food.
Yeah. Like when you lose a child in the mall.
Yeah. She's just like waiting. She's like, someone will find me. I'll just wait here.
I'll be fine. What do you like next?
The moon has told me that when I get lost, I should just stay in the same place, and eventually someone will find me.
We'll just retrace our steps and find you eventually.
Yeah. Well, Lulavolt, did you want to interact with someone? Is that something you were saying?
Well, like, because I think like that would make for like the kind of like for the vulnerable, just to have someone recognize them to allow for that movement to find you. For that, because it sounds like for how the system is, you take a vulnerable to do something you want to do. Like, and the goal here is to find you. But
you do a vulnerable. When you take a vulnerable action, it's the list on your sheet. Everyone has like the powerful moves, the normal moves, and the vulnerable moves. So the normal moves you can do any point in time. They're all free. The vulnerable moves you do, and you'd get to take a token. That's why I've taken a token next to me here, because I got lost. And then in the future, if I want to use that token to use a high-ranking, like, powerful move, I can do that. So that's kind of how it works. But if you wanted to see someone, I could take control of the people, which is a setting element.
Because, like, Lula is just on her way to try to find Gale. I mean, Gay.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on. The moves are draw witches into. Okay, I'm gonna take the in the people. There is a move. Offer a witch something they want at a cost.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is going to be the cost of finding Gay?
So, Lulavolt, you were traveling back in the direction, because it just makes sense to travel backwards, right? So, like, so Nebula was yelling at you, and then Orion was yelling at Nebula, and you were just like, okay. And so you head out backwards down the path. And I'm gonna say there's literally a figure doing the ultimate, like, conniving thing of, like, you know, one leg up leaning against something, like, oh, and, like, I'm gonna say they're even shuffling something in their hand. They, like, literally, like you know what I'm trying to, like,
against the wall.
Yeah. And they're shuffling something in their hand. Yeah, and they're like, oh, well, hello, it looks like you are in need of something.
Yeah, I'm looking for his person. Yes. Well, bean, but same difference.
You look awful familiar. Have we met before?
It could be. I do have one of those faces fall into the crowd, so often at times it's a case where people will recognize me thinking, "Oh, I'm that famous such and such," and I just look alike. You know how that problem is? Uh, like,
I could swear that we've met. Why don't you tell me your story? What are you on the road for? What are you looking for?
a friend that's
I could be your friend if that's all you're
not,
looking for.
you are not the specific friend that I am looking
Ah,
for.
well, you hadn't gotten that far yet. I think I make a very good friend, but all right, all right,
You
all
might
right. Fine.
be, but you're not the specific one I'm looking for.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. Well, it might be that I have seen some other folk that look an awful lot like, and they like look you up and down, your very bright self. But, you know, can't give you something for nothing.
Well, usually if you're wanting to, and you usually have to advertise you have what I'm looking for.
Well, it's a little bit hard to advertise information. You just told me what you wanted to know, and I think, no, that's not true. I know what you want to know.
Oh, so you know what I know, that you know that I know, that you know that I know, that you know nothing.
Incorrect.
Dang, this usually works much better for Bugs Bunny.
Well, I can see you're in quite a hurry. So if you'll just make me a nice little offer, I might be able to help you on your way.
Okay, 1 second. And then just kind of like turns behind, so kind of like in the shadows, and just kind of goes through, and then just pulls out kind of like some dice. I just go, okay, what about some fancy dice? Like these right here, you're getting the full set, you're getting your D6, your D20s, and they have all these like nice little skulls inside. It's a great way to throw them bones.
I do like to roll dice. All right, and like they'll put out their hand, like lay them down here, and I'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and I'll throw in an extra D10 just so that you can do those percentiles.
Perfect. They like snap it up in their hand, and they like whip their hand back, and the dice disappear for a second, and then they take a few steps to the side, and they like do the finger motion, like come here, and they like kind of lead you over, and then just past the rock form where you're currently standing, Gay is sitting on a rock, and they like point. They're like, "Is that perhaps the one you're looking for?"
Yes.
Good doing business with ya. And they like go to shake your hand and walk away.
Yeah. There goes my lucky weighted dice.
So yeah, I feel like we can say that you like collect Gay. Gay's like, "Oh hi, there's a little bit left." She probably offers you some food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Offer some half-eaten food,
Yeah.
like half a sandwich.
Yeah. Like, we'll just say, oh, thank you. And nibble on that. You know, like, would it help if I hold your hand so that way, kind of like, and we keep going on? That way, you're not getting lost.
Well, it's just more snack breaks would be good. Could we?
Yes. So, hold on 1 second. And just kind of like goes through their pockets and pulls out a lollipop that is shaped like the sun. Would something like this be preferred?
Ooh, yep. And then they'll start like following along with you.
So easily bribed.
Yeah. Perfect. I can say that scene is good. What do y'all think? meet back up with the group.
When you guys come back, we're still arguing.
Yeah, what did you two do? Are you fighting, or did you did you resolve it?
Well, so you know what? I think Chariot is very angry and is like, usually you're the one who's watching everyone. Why weren't you watching game? Like, what were you doing? Like,
I can't be in charge of everyone all the time. I gotta keep track of the rations. I gotta keep track of the money. I gotta make sure we're going the right way. I have the map. Do you have a map?
I mean, okay, so to be fair, if you're keeping track of gay, you're keeping track of the rations, all right? Like that's one thing there.
I lost 2 things in one strike. The rations and okay.
Oh,
don't brag about it, Nebula. God.
Oh my god! Like, oh, did I hear rations? Like, come back, offer you both food.
You have the rations. Don't ask for them. You have them.
You have them.
I brought for you. You want?
Oh, okay. You're offering me one. I will like begrudgingly take it and like cool down as I like eat some food. I'm still kind of.
See, we definitely need more snack breaks.
I mean, I really can't argue there.
Well, it's usually easier if you go to the destination and then eat it. So that way you're killing 2 birds, 1 stone.
That's okay. I'm really, 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 really sorry. I thought that I could do both. I was like trying to get the thing, and then and she starts like spinning in a circle again. She's like, I just thought if I could just grab it and then I could get it out and then I could have it. But did Orion just put their hand on her head?
Stop you from spinning. Like, okay, we get it. The multitasking is not. It's a myth. So we're just gonna keep going. Okay.
Okay.
I like to invoke the nothing around this time while we're like.
Yes. Do it.
So off in the distance you see like the storm clouds, right? Of the nothing. I think that they have like it's like a lightning cloud. They just kind of like you can see the flash from the corner of your eye of like a really large like lightning strike, and the sound travels across like the land. So we see it happen, and then a few minutes later, it just like thunder normally like fades out over this one. This one doesn't. It keeps its same volume, so it just kind of rolls over as like this kind of earth shaking like thunderous sound. While you guys are like doing the whole spinning around, putting your hand.
Like as I like put my hand, then the thunder happens, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I think that will spread panic through the people that are like coming like that interrupted us so nicely. The caravan. What do you think you guys do in response?
I don't know that I have a way to do anything because I can't fight cloud. Like I'm gonna throw some fists at the clouds.
I think we should get going, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Or we're just gonna let the people panic as we keep going then?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
You're right. I guess
you literally brought that up. I was gonna say I'm gonna use a natural.
Like
Go ahead.
I think I will cast a spell here then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Soothe. And I'd like to this time it's like a scent, like the smell of like a warm fireplace and hot chocolate, like just kind of like emanates from me and like spreads out like in a radius, so that people who are like panicking, like whatever it is that is their most comfortable scent or their most comfortable like what they can imagine in their mind, that's what they like are feeling now. I can smell it in like lavender or whatever it is they feel. That's how like my smell kind of like the spell kind of emanates to this area.
Pheromones are affecting everyone.
I
Huh?
love that. So was that one of your strong moves?
That is it says you know these spells. Yeah, it is a graceful touch. I'm not sure. That's pretty graceful, I think.
Well, so there's the neutral channel with an unexpected side effect, or cast
Yeah.
a spell with a graceful touch. So
Yes.
I will. I have one token,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
guess I'll just put it back.
Yeah. That's good. So I love this. So like there was that flash, that storm, that hint of the nothing, and it spooked all those folks, and I just imagine them getting like, you know, like louder as like you do, and like they probably also were like kind of like Orion and Nebula just did. They probably, some of them were probably on the line of almost breaking into fights and stuff like that. And then Nebula just, you use your soothe spell, and I'm trying to like, is it like, is there any visual effect, or is it literally just
So. I think it's just like it's like you just take when you take a deep breath. The next moment after I cast my spell, it's like you breathe in whatever sense or whatever like is most comfortable to you.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes from like this panic and everyone shouting and yelling to just like it slowly getting quieter and people like
Yeah.
like calming down and just being like, yeah, okay, we need to move on. All right, yes. And like, and some of them are even like, it's gone from like complete panic to some people being calm to some people being like,
I'm gonna bed. And I'm like, oh no, maybe I made it too strong.
Yeah, some people are like coming into their caravans to like lie down for a nap. You soothe them too much. They're too comfortable.
Like, oh my god, Nebula, turn it down a little.
I love it. That's so good. Okay. Yeah, because you have different like levels you can do, because like for everyone there's like the strong moves, the neutral moves, the vulnerable moves. So there's like your spells can literally mess up or stuff. Because I was gonna say, when the storm first happens, when you were describing that, I was gonna take the neutral move
Sure,
of channeling magic. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Take action, leave yourself at risk. Oh, I totally read it wrong.
Sincerely compliment someone?
Well, what I was gonna do was say that I actually accidentally, because I have an illuminate, because I am the sun. I was gonna say I accidentally like squeaked in fright and so just cute. Like went boof and like brightened really like just a bright flash of like nerves as the sun got like frightened. For a second.
You should do that, like right, like it's right when the thunder hits, and then there's this bright flash, and that's like that, and everyone panicking, like they see this flash and they hear the thunder. Because maybe some of them weren't looking at the storm; they were looking towards the spire, so they see this flash and then hear the thunder. It kind of freaks them out a little more right before I like do my whole. So what do you smell when I cast my sea smell?
That's a good.
Is it moon related?
Sure. I was gonna say, I can smell the shifting of the ocean tides as the moon takes control of them, because that's something she does that's really special. And sometimes we just like sit down and enjoy that, and so it makes me think of her.
It smells like the ocean, like the sea salt and the humidity in the air.
Yeah.
You know, like when you go by the ocean or by a lake, the water has that, like it has that scent.
Yeah. I want to know what everyone else's was. What was everyone's smell?
Oh.
I feel like I'm worried this might come a little on the squick side. But the first thing that comes to mind is roughly when you have like this little mushrooms and like little flies and stuff that occurs like over like decaying like logs or anything that has just passed. Like you have this almost like this mix of delight and disgust at the same time because it's like you have this nice mix, and it
Yeah.
just comes soothing
It's
because
it's like the decay of the forest kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah, because you
It
are
sounds like
smelling both the life as well as the death of something.
I love that because I imagine it is sort of like an actually really earthy decomposition smell. Like
Yeah, like mushrooms and
Heat.
do mushrooms smell earthy?
Yes.
Mhm.
I think for Orion, it's probably like a nice warm spiced like cider kind of smell.
Ooh,
Like
a hot
something with a
cider.
kick, yeah, but like it's got that warm comfort to it.
Like like cinnamon and apple
Mhm.
in a warm cup.
yeah.
On a cold day, yeah.
I love that. So I have one more question then. Does Nebula smell anything when they cast their spells?
Oh.
Uh, I don't think I don't think they would. Um, I think what I don't know if this is appropriate for the game, but I think what happens maybe like every spell has a cost, and what Nebula gives up is her like sense of smell for like a period of time
No.
after.
Does that
So
mean
like
she'll never like know her own comforting smell?
No,
I
you said it was just temporary, right? It's just like
yeah, but I mean I won't know what my spell thinks that I have that comforted. Like,
you never get
you know
to
what
know what your own special smell is.
I
No, there's no
No.
yeah, and it sounded like it's just for the duration of the spell. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
smell.
Right. But like in that same vein, it's like you'll never know what your special smell is.
I'll
Yeah.
never know. I'll never know what it is.
Another
That's
thing that
sad.
makes you like feel ostracized from us is your own magic. God.
I love it.
I'm just a ball of sadness out in the middle of
Stop
nowhere.
it.
Literally, your beard is pouring out your sadness right
Oh
now.
my
No. So sad. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm here to help other people, but I'm not here to help myself.
Okay. What is next? Do we move on from this place?
Yeah.
Do we
Is this?
does it go fairly without incident for like a little while?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I I think like maybe where our next conflict might be is where spring changes into summer. Like that next
Hmm.
stage. Like that would be like maybe there's a conflict of either the people or possibly the nothing.
Mhm.
Like could even be someone affected by the nothing.
So when
Mm.
we're traveling through these areas, these are regions, right, that are defined by it. Do we think that maybe if someone wants to evoke a people element, maybe I will. Like there is a conflict happening between the people who live on the border of spring and the people who live in the border of summer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, so like I guess the seasons are regions then? It's not like a time-based thing, it's a
It's
region-based
both,
thing.
right? It could be both. Like
I really like that, honestly.
Like the spires kind of emanating the warmth of like
mhm.
life, which gives everything else.
I
But
think like this land has magic, right? Maybe what it is that during the springtime of the year, the spring land region has more magic, more like the magic is more powerful in that area. And so as each region kind of like as the year goes on, each region gets its chance to shine kind of in the season. So during the transitionary periods between like spring and summer and fall, we get these pockets of conflict because that's when the power is starting to transition over from one region to another.
I was trying to draw a little caravan car. A little path.
Lovely.
It's not very
Cute.
good, I'm sorry.
it's cute.
I don't think can people see the caravan?
I moved it.
Oh, it's very it's very. Does anyone watch others?
Hmm.
So how would we be drawn into this conflict?
I think
Yeah.
there's probably like a main path, right? That goes
Yeah.
through all the lands. And naturally, when people are traveling, like bringing merchandise, imports, exports, they're going to be traveling on this main road. So the cities like pop up around that road, and that's where like
Mm,
right there's like a borderland right at the
yeah.
edge on both sides, and maybe
I
they're
love
like
that.
flush, like wall to wall basically, or building to building, like you cross the street and you're over in summer.
Like different school zones.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
different school zones.
just because I love this joke from the Muppets that maybe like there's two roads and there's a fork in between it that separates like these different districts.
Hmm. So there's literally like, so do we want to say, hang on, I'm gonna make like a hang on, hang on. Why isn't there like a soft, I'm looking for like a soft pink. Because I'm like, so spring is like here. And then like, what color? It's, I guess summer's probably like green, right? Summer's like, it's
Yeah, I
like
think
here.
spring is like yellowish.
Oh,
Or
that's
it could be
Mm.
purple because flowers.
Well then draw it. I can't be the only, we all
I
have
drew
to.
the
Let me try. Let me
fork.
try.
I
I'm
saw,
bad
I
at
like the
drawing.
fork. I saw
Let me change
it.
the color. What is this fork?
it's the fork in the road.
It's the
that
fork in the
divides
road.
The,
It's more like a trident in the road.
I mean,
Maybe there's also some
you
water.
Oh, like what if like that? Because that sounds like a good like way like maybe each like season there's a focus point of like water and the elements, and
Oh,
then
like
it's like and then it splits off into the roads.
that'd be
Kind of
cool.
like
Like it goes between the. I'm trying to freaking draw freehand. It goes in between them, like a river. This is my river.
A river runs between.
thank you.
It's perfect.
My wonderful drawing. Like like it splits here at the river, and the river runs in the middle of the town.
Yeah.
That's where they're like yelling at each other across the river.
They're yelling at each other. They're like actually like really close together, and it's the sort of thing where they like 100% need each other, but they're both just like bratty about it. Like
Yeah,
they're
I think
both
so.
like
Yeah, yeah.
There's like little bridges everywhere, but they're still like across from each other with the bridges like right next to them, just shouting at each other.
okay. So this is draw witches into a community conflict.
yeah.
Okay. I could take on the people. Hang on. Let me
Yeah, can
people.
you describe what the people are doing?
Yeah.
What do the people like?
Different kinds of people.
It's
Which is
so
some
funny. Like,
secret
what
food.
if like the people in summer were like wearing like tank tops and beach shorts?
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
and
People in spring are like still wearing like jackets and.
yeah, because I
Light-
kind of
light-
imagine the summer ones have like that Jersey kind of accent to them.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Yeah. So what are
So
they
what are the
fighting
people
ab-
like?
Yeah. Like what are they fighting about? It's the sort of thing. It's the sort of thing that us arriving to this community where these two different people, these regions meet, and these people are so close together. Us as outside observers are like, what are they talking about? They're so similar, and they're like
Yes.
we're clearly defined different people. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so
like,
what?
I mean, I guess your sleeves are a little longer, and you have slightly different floral prints on.
One has stars, the other don't.
I mean,
Like
but
one.
you
Ooh.
you both seem to need to use this river, and maybe you should, you can't just have one of you can't just have it. You have to. It's everyone's river. I'm sorry, this is no one person's river. And they're just like, yeah, go ahead.
I have just like the idea of like death, just like to almost like try to quiet people down for a moment. Like does a clap to essentially do just the neutral move of cause a chill to run down someone's
Ooh.
spine. And if I understand if not possible, but just have that go down, everyone's just like, okay, just quiet for a moment.
I think that's really good. Yeah, so you do that, and then the people of both communities are like yelling at each other from like across the way. They're like, "Yeah, well, spring is a poopy time. No one likes it." And they're like, "No, how dare you?" And you're just like, "Enough!" And you like shake, and they're all like, "Oh," and especially because they're spring and summer, the two warmest seasons, they don't like it. They're all like, "Oh, and they all try and cover up with their tank tops and t-shirts. They're all like, there's not enough there to cover. They're all like, "Oh, what? Oh, no."
What if once Lula gets everyone's attention, Orion's like, okay, well, now that we have your attention, obviously the only solution here is to get your strongest warriors and to have a battle. And whoever wins will, get the right to use the water. I don't know why you guys are fighting, but I mean, there's obviously a solution to every fight, and that's to win. So.
Yeah. I feel like they're. Oh, what do they do? They're like,
You could is there someone on each side being particularly aggressive?
Like
Like a leader?
So
yeah, I was gonna say but I feel like they both have like the types of leaders that are like, "Oh, well, we're not gonna fight. We didn't think it was gonna come to fisticuffs." Like, okay, I guess we have, hey, and they look to their younger, the youthful people of both their communities, and they're like, You're pretty strong. You're a strapping young person. Get in there. Do, like they just said.
I mean, and then as I see everyone
hesitating,
as I see everyone hesitating, I'm like, I guess there are other ways to do battle than with just your fists. But you should decide a winner or come up with a solution kind of thing. I'm basically just trying to scare them into the idea of getting along.
I have it. Okay. So they're like, oh, we just need to determine a winner. All right. The flower festival! And they clap, and they're like, whoever can gather the most flowers the fastest will win our community the rights to the river. They're like,
I mean, and they both have their own flowers, because Summer has the sunflowers and stuff, the blue bonnets, all those things.
Why don't you just do alternating days?
Well, but that's hard to schedule. There's 7 days in a week, and then who gets the extra day?
There's no extra day if you go, hey, summer people, it's your turn. Next day, hey, spring. Then the next day, summer. Just goes back and forth.
Yeah, but you can't. It's awkward to schedule that. You want to know, we want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Floors Day.
And again, does the whole another clap just to kind of
they're like, "Oh, stop it! Stop doing that. We don't like it."
There's an easy solution. Someone takes care of it during the day, other night, you alternate. Just take turns. You're all adults, aren't you?
Or everyone could have Sundays off, because everyone needs Sunday before Monday.
I feel like they all talk amongst themselves, and they're like, "But I did like the fight idea. Yeah, me too. Maybe if we fought, I feel like we could win. Yeah, I think we could win too. Honestly, And
Lula gets the hands just
ready. Oh, no, hang on. Okay. We will try this idea. We will try taking Sundays off from the river. Or maybe like
Oh, no.
all the kids are like, boo, no, we like to swim in the river on Sundays. Okay, fine, the kids can all swim in the river on Sundays.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why the kids can't swim when the adults are not working on Sunday.
Well-
That's like the ideal time, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, all right. So you take it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll take Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then the kids swim in the river on Sundays.
I love that we came up with this like schedule for that.
I love the way so like and the kids on Sundays they have to be kids from both sides. You can't
Oh, yeah.
you can't be like, okay, you guys only swim in the mornings and you guys swim in the afternoons. Everyone gets to swim on Sundays.
And by doing this, they're actually fostering this like realization that, hey, we're not so different from you, like summer people or you spring people, like we're all just in different weather.
Yeah, and if I gotta come back here, the river gets the cold.
Oh no.
They're like, no, our river is so warm.
Then just keep to a peaceful agreement, and we won't have any problems.
Grumble, 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 grumble. I think that was good. Are y'all?
I'm happy with that encounter.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any ideas of what we come upon?
Moving into
Yeah,
fall?
I think so. Okay, so we've been on this journey like for a little while already, and like fall is a time but also a place. So we've passed through spring, we've passed through summer, and now we're heading into fall. I'm wondering if like
I like to imagine that like in the amount of time it takes to travel through these lands, it's the same like amount of time as a season.
So like we're traveling with the magic basically with like
what
if it's like
because that's where our magic is the strongest, right?
like it now in my head, what if it's like a pulse of magic and we're just following it along to the edge
Like
to
a
the
little
nothing?
wave.
Yeah. That way we're like peak power when we're gonna go encounter the nothing in a way.
And in this case, I don't want to be the only one invoking, but I'd like to invoke magic in this case.
Yeah, go for it. I was literally looking at the magic too. I think it's really
I
interesting.
have it pulled up, so
let's see what. Okay, I'll tell you my idea. You can tell me yours, and then we will see. Maybe we can combine them of some kind. I kind of want to try create chaos or change the world in unexpected ways. Where maybe it's both. That there was a town in that like kind of transitionary zone. We should come up with a name for them.
What if this is also where like the color has just started to fade?
Yes. So here, I don't know how to say this nicely. The pulse of magic is it reacts in unpredictable ways, and in this case, it caused like a chasm to fall through the town, like ripping the town kind of apart. So now people, their homes are thrown apart, and it's creating like chaos in that way. What did you have for your idea?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking this was a good time to invoke the magic. I like this.
Yeah, I kind of want it to be like so, like you can see like the pulse of magic around that kind of chasm, and like, maybe there are, I don't know, other elements creeping up, other magical things creeping up through like, because the magic is inside the world, right? Inside the earth or whatever land it is we're living on. So like it's kind of pulsing up through this open gaping wound that there is here in this space, and people are probably affected too in some way.
I'm gonna say a quick hi, hello, welcome Raiders from Chromatic Chimera. I hope that your tabletop games went really well. Welcome in. We are playing a game that is called Before the Spire Falls. It is a magical GM-less game based on the Belonging Outside of Belonging system. And it was actually, I've said this a few times now, it was actually in the Racial and Social Justice bundle. So if you pick that amazing game bundle up, you have this game. So check it out with us. We are currently, we are a bunch of witches. We have traveled through the lands of spring, summer. We have landed in fall. And we were just discussing how the magic, there's an impending doom here called the Nothing. And it seems to have ripped this town. Like, so did we just arrive in this town and it was like, did we hear this happening from a distance, maybe? Like,
I
did
think
we...
it could have been like a total crack, like a cracking in the ground.
Yeah.
And we kind of followed
but
it.
we're following the pulse. We're not with it, right? So I feel like it would have been ahead of us, and we would have arrived too late to stop it. So we're kind of dealing with the after effects of what happened.
So it's kind of like a tidal wave, and
like a tsunami came and rended the town apart, and we're here to pick up the pieces, basically. So maybe like when they were sending us out, they weren't only just sending us out to stop the Nothing, but to help people whose lives were affected by it along the way.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a common, like, is it just is our task to relocate folks? Is it to recolor the town since the early effects of the Nothing are to dampen and take all the color away? Like,
yeah, by like helping people, we kind of give them a little bit of their color back, maybe.
And we're healing the land also. That's how we keep it at bay.
Okay.
Yeah, because it sounds like a lot of times, like, we're following the effects as we're following back to the source. We are trying to mend those that have been affected. Because it seems to be like each area seems to have worse and worse problem as we're getting closer and closer to the Nothing.
Yeah. Definitely. All right.
So I guess since I broke that element, when we all come across a scene, what is the first thing, let's say, the sun or anyone else does?
Hard because none of these things are like justice related. They're all just like natural disasters. But
I mean,
I think
can you redo any of your things to...
Well, I mean, if I could, like, I guess ward people, like, to keep falling things from getting on them, I guess I could work it that way. Yeah, I guess, yeah, there's maybe, like, when we're there, I see there's, like, collapsing buildings, I guess, and I decide, oh, well, I guess I can actually do something about this. I can protect these people that I see in my path. I could do a strong move, but I kind of want to do it neutral just so there's like an unexpected side effect.
Do it.
Yeah, me too.
Do it.
But what do you guys think would happen? Like, I guess I'm just kind of like, I guess it's a rush to throw up the ward. So maybe...
I think that an unexpected side effect could be like, since the area is pulsing like with the magic and the magic has stopped here temporarily, you're using a spell in an area with a lot of uncontrolled magic, let's say that. So maybe it could make it worse. It could make it so that like the ground itself starts spiking up with like energy, like rocks going up in the air, like almost impaling people. They run out of the way.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to save people.
Because here's the thing, like I like this because then it's a build. Like that's the start. A big catastrophe, and we all try to go in there to do some magic to help the people in our own ways. But even though we're helping, there's additional side effects, we are essentially just putting a band-aid on the situation. Because like I imagine, like as like you have those rocks are coming down, Lula Vault would try to kind of like use like thorns to come up from the ground to separate the rocks, but when they do, they might end up slamming into buildings so that people aren't hurt. But it's like
Right.
all that kind of thing. Like we each try to do something, and it may save people, but it doesn't save businesses. So even though like we have a concern for life, people are still upset because their businesses were destroyed.
We don't have a concern for capitalism.
Lives over capitalism.
I don't feel like that's a negative repercussion, though. That's just you doing more good to the world. So, I mean, like... Strong opinions. Anyways. Yeah, I was imagining like maybe when you kind of described like maybe some of your wards go up and they like hold some stuff in place, but other stuff still falls around. Like maybe they have a limited area of effect, or like I don't know what makes sense. What does this look?
Because I think that's a good build to the next thing. Like we have this concern for life, and because we have that focus on life, something additional goes wrong.
So Orion, do you like run in there and like try and cast these wards, and like some stuff just fall? Like you manage to save some people, but all their homes kind of like fall into the chasm behind them. Or so, you know what I mean? Like you did the best you could, but your wards don't keep buildings from falling into chasms. I don't know.
It's just for people. Like
maybe it's like it only holds them at like almost like a bubble or something. Like almost like
a literal bubble. Like you just see people like floating out of the chasm, like in these little like floating in zero gravity bubbles.
Yeah, and so Lula Volt, you like put up your vines to like try and keep some buildings together. Is that what you were saying? But then like
like again, like they break off and like.
But the vines are covered in thorns, and people are like, "Ow!"
Oh, no.
Ew! That was my good drawing hand.
Oh no.
Don't live!
This drawing you've got the chasm, like this rectangle. Is this it?
Yeah, that's what I tried. So that way, because it sounded like
to make sure that's what it was.
Yeah, because it looked like followed over buildings with like a yellow crack in the.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. It's good. I like as soon as I saw the crack, I was like, yeah, I see that. So those are both neutral moves for both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the sun doing?
I have a really bad move.
Go for it.
I have a vulnerable move that'll make me gain a token that's minimize someone's pain in favor of harmony. So I go over to the people that Orion just saved, and I was like, well, your homes weren't that nice anyway, and you're still alive, so that's really good. Really, I'm really glad that you're all okay. Like...
Oh my god.
Like, I find that funny, because, like, then you have maybe Death after doing all this just as the pat there.
Yeah, literally, like... Isn't it so great? I'm so glad that you're all okay. Look at all of you. Like there's not a lot left of your town. That's true. But look on the bright side.
You can build it better.
Yeah, it wasn't even going to finish what I thought that was it. Okay. Yeah.
What's funny is that I can take my neutral move and ask who here is hurting, and now it's the people after the sun talk to them.
It's all the people that the sun upset. I'm so sorry.
I'm going over to each of them and be like, I'm so sorry. Normally she's much better about helping people.
Do you want a cookie? Like My girlfriend made these. They're really good.
Yeah, this cookie will fill me as the nights I'm out in the cold without my house.
Well,
Gay,
no.
did you make sure they weren't allergic first?
No.
Ah, I have a peanut allergy.
Would it have been even worse if you had given it to someone who like lost their significant other into the chasm, and you're just like, yeah.
I would. Okay, the sun's not that bad. The sun wouldn't be like you lost.
No, but I would
Well,
think
like
Beth
maliciously,
would.
but
Oh
Beth
my
probably
God.
would be there. There. Here's a card. This will help you out. Like, just is to a dating service.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay. So like I think we do some help and some hindrance in this town, quite honestly. Like we managed to save some people but not their homes, and then save some structures but hurt some people, and then really emotionally upset a few others. But some people get cookies, so that's a good deal.
Some people love cookies more than they love
So
other people.
So Gay is just sitting there, like, amongst some people who are, like, silently crying and eating cookies, and she's just, like...
Beaming.
I'm helping.
I take a strong move here and just, like, come over. You guys are, like, in a circle, like...
Yeah.
I have, a move that says ease someone's pain or give someone rest, and I think both of those are pretty like similar in this case. And I will I'll just go over and like with my cloak just kind of like whoosh over everyone, kind of like give them like a small like hug, like a comforting touch. While Gage is sitting there like beaming at them and they're crying.
Oh, are we doing hugs now? I love hugs.
We can do hugs. I know you love hugs. We can do hugs. Why don't you give everyone you gave a cookie to a hug?
Only if they... I have hugs for whoever wants hugs, and just, like, holds her hands out, like, just stands there.
Nudge everyone towards you.
Like, Sun gives very warm hugs. Like...
Yeah, that's true, because you're the
some
sun.
of the kids just kind of latch onto you. They're like, oh, this is so nice.
You can like make everyone do like a group hug, like a big, like a pile of like warmth.
You like just like your warmth, even if they don't physically hug you, you're like warmth, like.
I'm like an outdoor heater. I don't realize that people are using me for my heat right now. I just think everyone's being really nice. I love it. Okay. So what do y'all do we stay here a little while maybe? Like do we stay here a day or two perhaps and actually like I
feel like we're obligated to because you
rebuild just a little bit.
Yeah, so we do help a little. I imagine we do help a little bit. Hang on then. Let me look at
something.
I'm pretty strong, so I'm helping like rearrange the rubble to like find lost things, see if anyone's trapped. Maybe like find anything that's salvageable, I guess, and move anything that's trash into the other pile that Death can go through. That Lula can go through.
Yeah, because like the only thing that can actually be helpful is regenerate to just on people like that are hurt. Like that's about it.
People
try to regenerate the ground. Refill the chasm back up.
Is that how the ground works? You can just regenerate it?
Well, I was thinking more the people.
Magic.
Yeah, why not?
Because Thorns was like to try to do that, kind of like bring the buildings back together to bring the chasm, and that didn't work. But maybe they just go over to doing the regeneration and onto them, where like they just had this kind of like color a little bit back into them. Like,
yeah, that's nice. That's true. Okay. So while you're doing that, you're helping the people and like bringing some color back to people. I will use one of my strong moves and cast a spell with joyous precision. So I'm gonna say that like after we've taken that like that day and like checked on like worked with the people and stuff like that and talked to them and stuff like that, with some help and direction, of the people that live here knowing their landscape better than we do. The sun is going to like sing a song and use cast a spell with joyful precision and use rise to like make some of what was lost rise back up.
Like, do you think it's like the buildings, like, or is it just like structures?
I think some things have collapsed. So like bringing stuff up is not gonna fully fix everything. I think it's gonna. I think what she does manages to fill some of the holes and make that danger go away. Like I think she literally is kind of like floating and like bringing up stuff, and that does bring up like I think she just managed to put up some bases of buildings, but not like entire buildings. I think it's more about making things as safe as possible to begin with.
Yeah.
And even there, I think she was nervous. Like, it literally takes, like, some, like, she's like, oh, I don't want to, what if I make things fall more, though? That seems bad. I don't want to do that. And so, like, I think she's nervous about, like, the engineering of this. So she just focuses on making things safe and making, like, a strong base for them to continue to build upon in the future. I'll use my token.
In my mind, when you're singing to do these things, it made me think of that episode of Powerpuff Girls where that clown like steals all the color, and then they sing like Bubbles and Blossom Buttercup. They sing a song and give the color back to everyone, and like you're just singing like the love makes the world go round to like help like
while you're making the buildings.
Yeah.
Bring everything back.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a vulnerable move while
Ooh.
Sun is doing this and wallow in despair.
Aww.
I think that like I hate the song.
Wow. Okay, fine.
And I'm mad that we are being delayed because of this. Like we have, I'm thinking about all the people that are ahead of us that are in trouble right now, and we can't get there because like we have to stop and help these people. And there's a big chasm in our way that we have to fix. So I'm just like, I just get like overwhelmed by all this like kind of like stopping point in our journey. Like we've been traveling for so long, and we're almost there, but more roadblocks and more obstacles in our way.
I kind of want to spend a token to share vulnerability to let them know they're not alone. Of just like, yeah, it's just all seems rather useless, but it's just you take the burden on of others so that they can be happier later on. You just gotta move on through. Hopefully there's something better at the end. That we end up doing this all for a good thing. Doesn't make much sense here in the moment, but it's not for us to reap the reward. It's for those that come after.
What?
How does Nebula feel after getting these?
I feel like Nebula feels a little better, but like not entirely. Like I still have some trepidation about moving forward. But not wallowing anymore. Now it's just kind of simmering.
Amazing.
I think it'll get better in the end.
Okay. So we do like what good we can here.
Yeah, we do what good we can here.
We make it as safe and secure as we can. We return a little bit of color to it. We
paint some walls.
But Nebula in particular is pushing for us to like move on.
Right. Like we have other people to go save.
Okay. All right. So we move forward towards winter, where like the heart of the storm is, like the nothing storm.
Yeah.
We can like see it.
What do you think the path is like from the transition between like fall and winter here?
Um, I think it starts off as like very vibrant, like colors. You have the reds, the orange, and yellows of the leaves, and then as we're moving forward, you see kind of like the removal of leaves. Like there's just start to become more and more barren before like as like the trees are like empty, and you have this like cool air that kind of like drifts through the air, giving you a little chill. Like your nose might sniffle just a little bit, as kind of like everything just suddenly feels a lot much colder all of a sudden, and you notice just how empty kind of like the trees are.
Oh wow. Do you think it like creeps up on us like one of those feelings where you don't really realize how much is missing until you like you stop and you take a look. Like we're just traveling and the transition wasn't as sharp as the other areas. It's like smooth. And so we're traveling and we don't realize until we're already in winter.
Hmm.
Like I think at this point a lot of people would have traveled further north already because, they don't want to be this close to the nothing.
Yeah.
So
I don't think there's much past. Yeah, I don't think there's much towards winter.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
just like
definitely.
barren land.
Yeah. But yeah, the transition between like maybe we don't even know exactly where the border is between fall and winter because it just kind of happens. At some point, we're just in winter.
And just like the winter kind of creeps up on us, like you can't see the mist with how wide it is here. So like even even if it's there, we can't see it because it's just there in the white. So like they've basically lost all of the color in winter.
Oh no. So bad. Okay.
Yeah. And like I like the idea of just like as we're starting to feel colder, or the actual giant chicken from off their staff gets big, and we're all just kind of like cuddled around this like large like horse-sized chicken, and that's keeping us warm.
Doesn't Gay also like radiate warmth?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't think Gay feels warm from their own warmth though. Like I feel like Gay wants to hug the chicken for sure.
Yeah.
Just the softness for comfort.
Yeah.
The chicken
You have something that will like a spell or something since you're the sun that like makes like this area like can you like warm up this area?
I could. That's okay. Let's see. What do we got? Okay, but what does... Okay, we have to think about, like, so we're here, and does something... I'm trying to see... I like that the nothing has a move called consume something in whole or in part, so I'm going to take some control of the nothing right now, and say that like how we didn't notice we had crossed the barrier into winter, we also don't notice that all of us have started to lose some color.
Oh no.
Oh.
Like not a lot, like just a little bit. Like it's so small and it's so slow and it's so insidious.
And it's like, wow, you don't look as vibrant as before. Like it's still vibrant compared to the white. That's why we haven't noticed.
Yeah.
But like if we're put back in a normal setting, it's like, oh, you're actually dimmer.
So
and
what is it?
Sense, yeah.
What is it that makes all of you realize?
What is it?
I want to kind of like say the coloring of the chicken we're all kind of like wrapped around. When it starts to fade, do we actually notice? Because
it's the canary in the coal mine, but it's a chicken. It's a chicken in the coal mine.
Maybe while we're traveling, there's just like little things I do just to make sure that I'm still in like well trained and stuff. Maybe I feel that I don't have as much strength. Like I don't feel as strong, like physically, as I did before. And it's just kind of like a weird thing that I noticed but kind of brushed off, but like it's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a neutral move called consult your knowledge about plants and beasts. So I think
Ooh.
that maybe I'm on our journey. I'm also studying some of the like foliage, and I noticed that like what in my memory, like from what I've studied and inspired, the color of this plant doesn't look quite right. Like it's supposed to be like a soft blue, but here it's like a whitish ashy blue. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't hit me until I've looked at like 20 of these things that it's not the right color.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's like I was at first I thought it was like a different plant, but then I realized or like a different species or a different like
Yeah.
version of it. But then I realized no, um it's actually like a daisy, but the color's all wrong.
Yeah, like
Uh,
a winter daisy or something like that
yeah.
that are supposed to grow in this area. And so I'm gonna say, since I have control of the nothing,
Oh no.
I'm gonna say that like another reason why y'all didn't notice it is because this is farther out for the nothing to be. This, like, in fact, when y'all realize this and you look around you and you look behind you, you realize that you're in it. Like you are in not the nothing fully, but like the fog of the nothing. And if you now suddenly it's almost like you snap and you can see. And if you look behind you back towards fall, you can see that the nothing fog has snuck past you and is already making its way back to fall where you just came from. Like the fog is
Hey guys, what? Did they ever give us instructions on how to stop the nothing? What were we supposed to do when we got here?
Were you gonna say something?
Uh, I feel like this might actually make sense for me to lose a valuable object, and
Mm.
that kind of like as we moved and like the fog just had passed and goes away, little bits of the chicken start to kind of like fade away, like flickering off, almost like ash away. And that's how we know like the fog is right behind us. It's because it all kind of like is like we were saved in that moment because of the chicken.
Oh, oh no. Um, I wonder if like putting up a ward would help at all. Like,
I feel like for something as big as the nothing, we have to do something together. To
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We probably all need to do something together at this point.
mm-hmm. Well, maybe if you put up the ward, uh, and
Okay. Yeah,
perhaps shine.
I was gonna say I
if we like kind of wove a spell together, maybe like with my ward and like maybe Death's like regenerate or cloak or something, and then like
Oh
the
yeah.
stars like shine or mend, and then like the sun's like illuminate or absorb, even like to kind of
yeah.
just pull it away. Like if we were to like take one of our spells and kind of like melds them together into this like barrier where it stops at the winter kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
I have a
I
thought. What if yeah, sorry, go ahead.
well, I have this strong move to change your environment.
Ooh.
So, like, and having the power of the frost, what if, like, that's the first step? Is like that it looks very draining on Lulavolt as like they are just using a strong magic of just like using the frost itself to kind of like almost solidify this fog, this nothing
Mhm.
into kind of like a solid ice and like keep it trapped in one moment, like one area, and like that's the first step.
I love it.
What
I
were you
was
gonna
actually
say?
gonna say I like that. So like Lulavolt, you like solidify the nothing fog into something, and then I'm gonna use a strong move to absorb it all backwards towards us. All the stuff that crept past us that was already making its way into the next season, all the stuff that was sneaking out past winter into fall. After you solidify it, like Gay is just gonna start pulling it backwards and absorbing it back into winter so that we can continue to like push. So who goes next then? So after Lulavolt like solidifies it and then like Gay pulls it back and starts pushing it, what happens next?
Like once it reaches a certain point, I kind of throw down like my ward to kind of like build like a barrier, I guess, that like once the barrier is up, like we can tie in some of the other spells. So like if it does get past, it can get pulled back in, and it like kind of heals itself to keep from being overwhelmed by the fog, maybe, or the nothing.
I think after this point, I can use like flood past the ward areas and like kind of push it. You know, like how when the ocean recedes and back into the water, kind of like push it away. Speaking of, I think it might be nice. Let's say this word, nice. What if the reason why they send us out is because we have to sacrifice some part of our magic to the nothing to keep it at bay. So like it has to be like witches and not normal people that can just keep pushing it back. Like when we're doing this stuff to kind of keep it at bay, it's not like it takes something from us every time, and that's why like they have to retire some of the witches after a while because it takes too much out of them.
Yeah, like you can't do the trip to fight the nothing every year. Like even the most powerful witches can't do it. Like that's like against the rules. Like it has to be different witches every time. Or like you
So that
said,
they can,
like you can maybe
recover
go
their
again,
magic.
but yeah, like not immediately. And then like if you've gone more than a few times,
You're
you
disqualified.
can't. Yeah, you're disqualified.
Well, you might lose something. Oh, you might lose yourself.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're like, you've done this too many times and it still keeps coming back, so just sit at this one.
Well, like what I was
Oh.
thinking was that maybe the nothing is not just like this fog. Maybe it's like if a witch comes in and pushes himself too far, maybe then nothing takes them and doesn't give them back. So like there are these colorless witches wandering around the winter wasteland, like
Literally the White Witch.
but
The
like
thing,
the
thing is,
colorless witch, the
like-
transparent witch.
I like this idea, but like, I feel like if we had gone if we all hadn't done this combination, that would have been becoming us. But like at kind of like as we're almost all drained, that kind of like one of us has to try to make the sacrifice so that the
One of us is
rest
going
can come
to.
back.
Like the
And-
nothing was stronger than we thought.
And I understand if this may not work, but I kind of like the idea that like death kind of like gives it all to kind of like shift it. Like, because as is all is one thing, to kind of like try to shift it into like another like dimension or other things. So like essentially it can continue to exist, but essentially wouldn't be on their plane of existence. Like maybe it's just in the nothing is in the upside down.
So we like did our all powerful spell with like all of us, but then there was like something more to it still.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that like essentially like imagine kind of like almost like draining and kind of like a very ashiness as Death's doing this, and then to a certain point, like all of them, like bit by bit, kind of like gets faded away, and behind is just like the staff and an egg.
Hmm.
Is it like a phoenix chicken now? Reborn
Like
from
I'm
the
not gonna
ashes?
like just like it's just like after that, like Lula Volt is no more, but for the moment, like that allows for the rest to return home. And there's
Oh.
just this staff and an egg.
I mean, we would definitely bring that back because, like,
Yeah.
maybe that's like
We'll
maybe
just
that's
leave
like
it.
it's something that happens to Lula, not often, but every once in a while, where um they have to do something and it ends up like draining them a little too much, and they kind of recede into the staff.
Or is Death a changing role? Like
Oh.
is Death
Oh,
like
like every lifetime they go and fight the nothing. They have to sacrifice, like, to get the most magic. They have to sacrifice themselves.
like all of us are like elemental or representative of something, and
Mm-hmm.
the representative of Death, like maybe one day someone will show up at the Spire and claim this staff and egg, and it's only in their hands that the egg hatches.
Oh. Like after one death disappears, like they kind of go through a process of like everyone gets a chance with the staff, and whenever the egg
It's like Arthur's sword, like a sword in the stone, but it's the staff and the chicken egg.
Yes.
Do you think that the rest of us have to sacrifice something as well? What would
What do you think?
I kind of want to, but I don't know what.
What? Like, is it just a little bit of your color? Is it kind of like what we said, where like it's not good to go into the nothing because you can lose all of your magics? Like, is it something like that?
Or is it something that's a part of you? Like, for example, do you lose your envy?
Do you lose one of your like, do you lose a spell like that you can never do again? Like, or I'm like looking at your list now. Like,
I know, I'm trying to like look in mine. And I never.
It's hard because there were spells that we didn't use, but I don't want to be like, oh yeah, let's throw away this one I didn't use. It would have to be one that you did use.
I think if you remember from the beginning, what set me on this journey was a dream. So I think I lose my ability to dream.
oh wow.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
This could be like actually dream, or it could be like to see a better future for myself specifically. Like I can see it for other people, I can help other people, I can imagine what that's gonna be, but for myself, like it's like it's not there. And when I like go to bed and with my special pillow, um, maybe that was the pillow that gave me the best dreams, and now when I go back, like I won't have that anymore. My character was sad, but in a good way.
That's sad. Oh. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think healing is all about like giving up, sharing the empathy with other people, and that means you. If someone's sad, you're sad too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Do you think Gay loses anything?
I was gonna say, does Orion lose anything?
Yeah. There's like a Spider-Man now where you guys are like pointing at each other.
You.
Okay, so I think in this case, like I only have one spell that I use, but I think it is actually pretty, like it would make sense to lose this one.
Yeah.
I feel like if Orion lost the ability to kind of protect specifically with the only spell that they had for protection, ward. Because like it would just mean that they would have to find a way to protect in a more offensive way, and like they don't have that defensive like back step anymore, that they just have to charge forward. And it may not be a good evolution, but it is an evolution of their character, and as like and that's kind of that's one of the reasons they send different witches, is because they feel like, oh well, you also need to continue growing and developing as a witch, and this is how you're going to do it whether you like it or not.
Turns out we all lose a part of ourselves on this journey.
Yeah. If I had to lose something, I would assume it's either flare or illuminate. You know what I mean? Like I would lose some of my brightness. I think that sun loses a little bit of their shine.
Like you've seen bad things on this journey. You've seen people lose their homes. You've seen people fight for no reason.
Yeah, we lost death. We're going back with this egg stick. I didn't sign up to take back this egg stick.
Put him in your rations pack that's now like should be half empty.
I am not putting the egg in my rations pack. I would totally accidentally eat that. No. Have you met me? Have you met me?
Right.
I have met you. You should label "do not eat" on it.
That's not good enough. I'll eat it. It's staying out. It's staying over here.
Do you want to try to combine the egg and the staff?
I feel like the egg stays very prominently on the staff. Like it kind of
like even when you like go like this, the egg just kind of stays there, and you're like, look, it's magic.
Maybe we even craft it like a little nest on top of the staff. Like, you know what I mean? To like encompass it and make it like sit. It was already kind of like sitting, but it looked precarious. So we crafted a little nest.
Stuff like little sticks in between it just to like make it look like a head padding.
Yeah. So there you go. Now it's safe. It's good. Okay, there we go.
I think what I would like is like, you know how we lost something on the way? What if going back we gained something? Well, we don't have to go through the whole thing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, this journey was about sacrificing ourselves to help the greater good. And on our way back to the Spire, we I don't know, we gained something. Like we're leaving the nothing behind.
You gained some friends along the way.
Yeah, a friendship was a thing we needed all the way.
What are you imagining? What are you imagining for Nebula?
I don't know. I was just coming up with it.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I think that like Gay learns a little bit of like, I think when we
responsibility.
Yeah, I would like not. You're not wrong. I was trying to think of like, I think when we go back through that town, they are then putting stuff back up on top of that base that she was so nervous to help build. And I think that they, teach her a little bit of like practical skills and like the importance of like getting your hands dirty and actually taking care of things yourself and like that sort of thing.
Care of the egg stick.
Yeah, you're the one in charge of that egg stick.
God damn it! So Gay is like learning to like take care of the egg stick. Like
you're like an incubator.
I am very warm. It's true. It makes sense. Like, okay. So all right. Gotta be responsible. Can't get lost. Gotta pay attention. Gonna like. All right.
I think Nebula makes friends along the way. That's why. What was it you said earlier? Oh, so it was like the something is the friends you make along the way. Because like all the way up until the end, Nebula was super lonely and stuff. But I think after some point, maybe after leaving nothing, they would realize that these guys stuck by Nebula the whole way there and didn't leave her behind. And I'm gonna put myself at ease. Someone will visit me when I'm sad. It'll probably be the sun.
So with the way everything kind of went for Orion, I wouldn't say they necessarily had a good lesson. It was more like for Orion, it was more of a like, obviously there's, while defending is good, it's not going to help me enough. Like because I obviously, it obviously wasn't a good enough spell for me to keep. So like I have to learn how to solve my problems in a faster, more straightforward way than just like protecting everything. Like, to protect everyone, I have to get rid of the issue instead of just blocking it once it gets there.
Like, in general, I feel like from the chasm thing that happened, you learn that you can't just protect everyone, right? You can't just, like...
You have to get ahead of whatever the issue is going to be. Like, be super proactive about, like, protecting these people, because obviously they can't protect themselves from this magic and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's good, because, like, you realize that just, like, for some people, their lives are not the only thing important to them. Like, their community is important, and you can't really protect their community in the same way just by throwing a word up. You have to do something much larger.
I do have a question. Like, does death reincarnate, like, when the next person gets the staff, do they get the memories of the previous death?
That's a good question.
What do you think happens?
Well, I agree. Like, that is a good potential. Oh, that could occur.
So is there, like, when we return, we all get back to the tower, does something happen with the staff and the egg?
I would kind of like imagine, like, as you get to the flame, the kazoo comes out. And there's just a little kid that comes up and just picks it up. Oh, neat. And just kind of like, and then probably right about that time you come up and, like, they start to notice, oh, that's a pretty staff you got there. That's a nice egg and everything.
And like they end up like kind of touching, and we're like, do you want to touch it, kind of thing. I think the game would let the kid touch it. Like, it's just like, but do you think the kid would get the memories of the previous death, or like some of the gist of it?
That is a very good question. But I think kind of like, as kind of like you for kind of like a good last scene, it's kind of like, as like they're messing with the egg, we start to notice a crack on it as we fade to black.
That's fair.
Ta-da! Thanks everyone for playing this game.
It was fun.
Thank you all for playing before the Spire falls.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like we told a pretty interesting story. Thank you all so much for playing. If anyone is hanging out in the chat, this is before the Spire falls. You can check it out on itch.io. So go, and like I said, if you picked up the social and racial justice bundle, you already have this game. Go get it. Go try it. It's a very cool gemless game. And I think we told a really cool story. So let's go around and tell us who you are, where we can find you, what good stuff you're up to. We'll go in reverse order, starting with Michael.
Hello there. I'm Michael Wayne. You give me a clip, I'll give you a GIF. I'm just about there, hoping to play in people's game. Maybe one day I'll play in a game with you. You can see me Tuesday on Raven's channel, RAVVYN, for our last episode of Hunters of Calamity, a Borderlands-inspired tabletop RPG, and Wednesday on Bardic Nox channel for the last episode of Digimon/Crash, which it's been fun. Like, really enjoyed it. Really have loved a little bit of, like, Orion's, like little kind of like always whenever they come in to like just a little extra detail. Uh, that Nebula did a great job of like having a lot of these like great setups that just really meant for a great follow through, and Jess did a very good job of kind of like, hey, giving like the nothing a really good character to follow back on. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm pulling for you.
You High School Musical.
Awesome. Thank you so much for playing. Next up is Alyssa.
Name's Alyssa. I don't really do anything on the internet, so I am nowhere. But yeah, it was fun playing with everyone. So yeah.
Thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for giving us Orion.
I'm Chris. I also don't do anything on the internet. I do play and GM a lot of RPGs. I just don't do anything live most of the time. So like right now, me and Alyssa down below, we are in 3 separate campaigns. I can talk about that, I guess, but it's online. So two of our friends GM, and me also, we try to rotate systems. So we different systems. Right now we're playing City of Mist. Great game. You should check it out. Support them. Love that game. We actually just did half of our session 0 this recent past week. We're starting up Pathfinder 2, second edition, and right now we're playing one of my friends is GMing Escape from Dino Island. Also another great game. It's powered by the apocalypse. Really fun. If you like dinosaurs, you like Jurassic Park, check it out. I think you can find it on itch.io. Somewhere I forgot the person's name, but it's called Escape from Dino Island. It's very fun.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you all so much for playing this game with me. I really like that the turn we took. Like I love that we went with the colors and the mist and everything like that. I think it was so evocative and really cool. So thank you so much everyone for playing. If anyone is watching this, you can watch this later over on YouTube. I share all the videos and we have a whole series of indie game spotlights where we like to find interesting indie games, support them, showcase them, and test them out live so you can learn right alongside with us and check out these cool games. Follow my YouTube for that. There's a sign-up sheet if you ever want to play. We do community games fairly often, quite honestly. We do a mix of indie game spotlight, Fiasco Friday, and just whatever other stuff comes up. So if you ever want to play with us, follow my Twitter, check it all out. Yeah, come hang out for lots more games. Don't forget to check out Roll20, who we used for this game to be able to do our characters and tokens and like draw our little caravan map, falling apart city, all that sort of jazz. Check out Roll20. They're heckin' cool. And go find this game and play this game. It's really neat. I really love how we were able to just kind of discuss things and everyone just added on. You know what I mean? Everyone was like, "What about this? But also this. But what if we also did this?" Like, yeah. I think that's such a fun way to play games, and I appreciate all y'all for going in on this and taking part. I think that's all for now. So yeah, we're gonna call it quits here. I hope y'all have a good heckin' night. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you watch over on YouTube. And please take care of yourselves and one another. Heart your heckin' faces. Hope to see y'all soon for more games. Have a good heckin' night. Bye, everyone.